אוקיי, בעזרת השם, בשעה טובה ומוצלחת, we're starting the fourth פרק, פרק ד', פסוק א'. שמעו בנים מוסר אב, sons, listen to the musar, to the discipline of a father, והקשיבו לדעת בינה, and pay attention to learn בינה. The translation is discernment. Do we know what bina means? So the first question that the Gaon has in this pasuk is, why does Shlomo HaMelech use two different terminologies to listen? The first, he used the word shim'u, shema, and then he says hakshivu, leakshiv. So he says, big yesod, good to know, okay, that shim'u can have three meanings. Lishmoa, like we say Shema Israel, it can have three meanings. Number one, Kabbalah, to accept and receive and embrace. And he brings a pasuk in Yehezkel, Hashomea Yishma, V'achadel Yahdal, which means whoever listens, Hashomea can Yishma, whoever listens will listen. The pshat means whoever listens, Yishma will accept it. So one is to accept Kabbalah, to accept it, to embrace it, internalize it. And the second pasuk he wants to bring, he says, "Ve'aya im shamoa tishme'u." Ve'aya im shamoa is not if you will listen, but if you will accept it and embrace it. And this is very relevant, because this is the second paragraph of Kriyat Shema. Ve'aya im shamoa tishme'u al mizvotah she'anochi mitzaveh etchem hayom. Okay. The second meaning of Shema is Havana, to understand. And he brings a pasuk in Melachim, Daberna el avdecha aramid ki shom'im anachnu. You can speak to us in Aramaic, ki shom'im anachnu, because we listen, because we understand it. It's like, when you talk to somebody, you say, I hear. Yeah, I hear what you mean. You understand what the person is saying. And the third meaning of Shema is Shmi'ah. Is to hear, to listen, to hear. And part of that definition, of that explanation, or of the meaning of to hear, there is also what he says, the word hakasha, lehakish. That is the root of the word hakshava. Lehakish is when you put your ear closer to listen with more attention. So it's listening with a little more attention than just hearing. And he says, this is what Shlomo HaMelech tells us. Shim'u banim musar. Shim'u in this pasuk means accept musar. Embrace the musar from the father. Which means when you accept something, essentially it should be unconditional. You accept it. When you accept it, Shim'u, accept it, embrace it. Because musar, as we know, cannot be comfortable, can be uncomfortable, right? So you might be instinctively rejecting it or on the defensive. Says Shlomo HaMelech, when it comes from a father, take it. Embrace it. Don't push it back. Because the father, when he teaches Musar to his son, it can only come from a place of love and true care for the well-being and the benefit of the child. So if you know that it's coming from a place of love and purity, as emotionally difficult as it is, you need to be ready to be open and embrace it and accept it, even if you don't tolerate it at the moment. And then והקשיבו לדעת בינה, הקשיבו לדעת בינה, says that goes back, הקשיבו, it means hat oznecha, pay attention. Tilt your ear and focus so that you can learn, so that you can bring derivatives from the chokhmah that you're hearing and actually internalize it. So the chokhmah, the way you internalize the chokhmah is by paying attention when you listen. There is listening, okay, which you grasp what you grasp what you think you grasp. And then suddenly when we tell you, can you repeat what was said? You have a vague idea. You can repeat it, but it's, you don't master it. Says Shlomo HaMelech, but if you pay attention, if you tilt your ear, okay, to listen, meaning, what does it mean to tilt your ear? Basically, you're focusing your ear to the sound, right? So you don't get distracted by the eyes or by the sight. You detach your awareness from the sight and you can concentrate it towards the ear. And what it does, says Shlomo HaMelech, it allows you to process the chokhmah and analyze it as you absorb it. So it is a better way to internalize it and crystallize it in your brain and develop from it your own lessons, right? And this is how you implement the bina to the chokhmah, he says. The practical way to adapt, to apply, the bina to the chokhmah. And says Shlomo HaMelech, in this case, Shim'u beni Musar. Shim'u banim Musar Av goes back to the Chokhmah. Vehakshivu lada'at bina goes back to the bina. And he says, you should know that when we talk about Musar, sometimes Musar is used to refer to Chokhmah, and sometimes Musar is used to refer to Bina. Why? Because the Musar, its place in the Muhin is in the Da'at. And the Da'at has both of them. So the Musar essentially comes through a form of Chokhmah, through a form of Bina that can be implemented right away into the Da'at and actionable. Good. פסוק ב' כי לקח טוב נתתי לכם, תורתי אל תעזובו. The famous pasuk. Andy, are you with us? Yeah, okay. Because it froze, okay. כי לקח טוב נתתי לכם, תורתי אל תעזובו. For I gave you לקח טוב, good instructions. תורתי אל תעזובו, do not let go, forsake my Torah, my lessons, teachings. Says Shlomo HaMelech, says the Gaon, כי לקח טוב נתתי לכם, I gave you, I hand over to you instructions. What are the good instructions? The lekach tov says it's the mitzvot. Like the pasuk says, hacham lev yikach mitzvot. Somebody that is smart will take the mitzvot. What does it mean? You grab the mitzvot, you take the mitzvot. You grab them when they come available. Right? It's opportunities. You have to grab the opportunity when it comes to you. Mitzvot is not something all the time you can do mitzvot. It's dependent on time, space, and situation, right? So you have to, says Shlomo HaMelech, you have to be proactive and reactive to always be sensitive and take advantage of situations when you can do a mitzvah. And when you do it, you grasp it, you take it, it becomes part of your mitzvah bank. Torati al ta'azovu goes back to the Torah, the Chokhmat Torah, the Limud Torah. Says, what is the Torah? Don't let go. It means that the Torah essentially is with you all the time. You're the one letting go of it. But it's always present. It's always available at all time, at all place, all the time, everywhere. So the only way to detach yourself from the Torah if you let go of it. To the contrary of the mitzvah, that the mitzvah you have to jump and take it. Right? It's like a fish in the water, and if you want the fish, you have to go and grab it. But the water is there all the time. So the water, the mashal of the Torah, The fish in the water is the mitzvot. And he says this is why we have an obligation of Ve'agita bo yomam v'layla. Because it's always available, present, zmina. The Torah is zemina. The Torah is here for you all the time. So that's why Shlomo says, Al ta'azu, don't let go of it. It says Shlomo, it says the Gaon. So in first pasuk we have the Chokhmah and Binah, and here we have Torah and Mitzvot. So he says Torah and Mitzvot come from the same shoresh, essentially, which is the Da'at. Because the Limud Torah, you need Da'at to be always holding on to it. You need that wisdom, that you need that shrewdness, that awareness, that maturity, practical, I'm saying, yeah, to benefit from the Torah all the time and be aware and recognize that it's with you all the time. And the same thing with the mitzvot. You need awareness, you need the reactivity, right, to grasp the opportunity, and value the moment, and hold on to it. So here Shlomo HaMelech basically brought down to us the Chokhmah, the Binah, and the Da'at, which is the Musar, right? Processing the Chokhmah, the ability, the way you process the Chokhmah through the Binah, and eventually the Torah and Mitzvot, which are both from the Da'at. So the mitzvah is a proactive engagement. So you have to be reactional, alert. And the Torah is recognizing and acknowledging that it's always here. And the only way the Torah will break off you is if you let go of it. The beautiful chizuk and the amazing Musa Askel we learn from this is that essentially the Torah is always here waiting for you. This is why you can never give up on people. Doesn't matter how far they are, because the Torah is always there. All they have to do is hold on to it. And when is hold on to it? Hold on to it. You know, start learning it. Be connected to it one way or another. לא מעבר לים היא, ולא בשמיים. It's present at all time. Good? It's מאוד מחזק. When you internalize that idea, it's a tremendous chizuk that the Torah is with you at all time, and it also, it brings, you know, it hits home when you feel like you're disconnected, that really you let go of it, because the Torah never lets go of you. I'm going to try to do another two psukim if you have time. Ki ben hayiti le'avi, I was once a son to my father, or I was a son to my father. Rach, tender, ve'yahid, and alone, and beloved, lifnei imi, to my mother. It almost reminds us of Yitzhak Avinu, huh? Ben הייתי לאבי, רך ויחיד לפני אמי. שעושה שלמה המלך, כמו שנאמר, אני אהיה לו לאב, והוא יהיה לי לבן. בן הייתי לאבי, I was a son to my father. The pirush is, and that's so important to chinuch, if you want your son to be your son, first be his father. If you behave like a father to your son will behave to you as a son. Big yesod in chinuch. We expect from our kids certain behaviors. We expect them to be the sons that we want them to be, right? And sometimes we were frustrated, we're disappointed, we're confused. The answer is because you're not a father. And if you are really a father and you really behave a certain way, if what is father figure? What is a father figure? Somebody that portrays a behavior, direction, clarity, responsibility, engagement, accountability. All those traits will penetrate the heart of the son, and the son will blossom and flourish to emanate again and bring out again those values. And he becomes a son to the father. And because I am a son to my father, now you can apply Shim'u Banim Musar Av. Now the Banim can listen and accept unconditionally the Musar, the discipline of the father, without rejecting it. So a t'nai, a condition for a son to embrace and accept the discipline of his father is for a father to be a father to his son. Rach v'yachid, tender and cherish and one and special lifnei imi, to a mother. Each child is always the sweet and the beloved. And he says this is Knesset Israel to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He says once again, this is, can I get Chokhmah, Bina, and Da'at? The Chokhmah is when you want to be a father to your son, if you want your son to say, I'm a son to my father because the father was a father to the son, that is an interaction that comes from the Chokhmah. The application of the Chokhmah, and we have plenty of it until now in the prakim that we've just learned, helps the father to be a father to the son and brings out in the son the chokhmah to be a son to his father. The bina, which is the imay la'a, the bina is to see in a son an unconditional love, to see that he's one and unique and has his own ma'alot, his own qualities, values, potential. Ve'urach is tender. What does it mean, tender? You can work with him. Lifne imi, in front of my mother, he said, this is Knesset Israel. He says, this is the da'at. Good. And why is Ima Knesset Israel considered that? Because it's like he brings a pasuk in Divrei Hayamim, Asher Yisarto Imo. The mother also can be miyaser, can bring isurim on the children. The father tend to be more lenient. A mother, she has like a trait that can be firmer, an approach that can be more strict. Says the da'at, this is what da'at is. Da'at applies the love and the wisdom but in a strict way. It consolidates, right? The two to bring practicality. And practicality is, in a sense, a consolidation, an affirmation of something. Next pasuk. Vayoreni, vayomer li, he instructed to me and he told me, and he said to me, Yitmoch devarai libecha, your heart should hold on to my words. Shemor mitzvotai, keep my mitzvot, my commandment, vehye, and live, and you will live. Says the Gaon, Vayoreni vayomerli, he instructed, right, to me, and he told me, says Shlomo HaMelech uses the word vayomer, right? Vayomer is soft-spoken. Vayoreni instructed me is very protocolar, right? Very rigid, firm. It's an instruction. It's a commandment. So lechaora, there is a contrast here. Vayoreni, vayomerli. How does that work? Says Shlomo HaMelech, says the Gaon, Kevad shaiti ben ahuv lefanav. Because I'm a son of a father that loves me. And why do I know that he loves me? Ve'yahid ve'gamrach, because he doesn't give up on me, and he knows I have potential. So on one hand, he's tender. What does it mean, tender? Agile, you can workable, right? Ve'yahid, important. This is what my father gave me, the feeling that I am important, and that he doesn't give up hope. He still works with me. בוודאי מה שיורני הוא טוב מאוד. For sure that what he instructs me is sweet and good. So even though you give an instruction, it is translated as an amira, as a soft-spoken word that is sweet and good. And the outcome, says the Gaon, and kashe adavar la'asoto, that's how you neutralize the difficulty to actually implement the Musar in a child. So, by showing in a behavior that you behave like a father to your son so that your son can be a son to you, right? And essentially, by showing him how much is unique and important to each one, to see that, to make them feel that you see in them tremendous potential and unique potential, and that you have patience for them, you listen, and you show them that you believe in them, that you work with them, you're working with them. Even if you give an instruction that is firm and strict, the behavior and the bond that the son feels from a father that he loves him translates the words of instruction, as firm as it can be, into words of love that are embraced by the son, and make now this instruction easy to do. Like you just canceled and annulled all the challenge there is in what you're trying to instruct or what you're trying to teach. And what is the actual message, the instruction that was given to Shlomo HaMelech from his father, David HaMelech, Nechaora, because it's Shlomo talking. מהם הדברים? יתמוך דברי ליבך, your heart should hold on to my words. Your heart, should hold on to my words, and my words are the mitzvot. Care for the mitzvot. Grasp them, look for them. Be emotionally engaged to want to do mitzvot. אבל לא יאמר האדם, the person should not say, it's practical, it's good, let me do it. And if I do it, I don't need to learn. Just give me the bottom line. I'll know what to do. And I don't need to learn. He says, in a meal, you can have vegetables, you can have meat, You can have, but the ikar, what satisfies the body is the bread. The ikar, what gives strength to the body is the bread. And with the bread, there's meat, there's fish, there's vegetables, fruits. He says the bread is the Torah. The ikar is the Torah, the limud Torah. And the mitzvot, it's everything that comes around it. It's great. But sometimes you eat bread with fish, sometimes you eat bread with meat, sometimes you eat bread with this type of vegetable, with that type of vegetable. You don't eat all the vegetables and all the fish and the meat, everything together. The mitzvot, they come and go to each its own at a specific time. So he says, Yitmoch devarai libecha. Your heart should hold on to my words, the words of the Torah. Shemor mitzvotai, and then you'll be able to hold on to Shemor, to protect, right? To do the mitzvotai, v'hyeh, and live by it. Basically, Shlomo HaMelech is giving us now the formula to have a life of Torah. He says it's true the mitzvot are important. It's true the mitzvot are sweet. It's true that you have to be engaged with your heart. But how can you be aware, engaged, looking to do mitzvot? It doesn't come like that. It comes only if if it's held on by your heart, and your heart to hold on to the words of the Torah. So if you really care of the Torah, if your heart is with the Torah, you will care for the mitzvot. And you will protect the mitzvot. You will engage with the mitzvot. And v'hayen, this is how you live. This is how you live your Torah, your avodat Hashem, your life of avodat Hashem. So your heart essentially the ikar, what's important, what should be essential, should be limud Torah. You're learning the Torah in your behavior as a father. The presence at home, everybody should feel that learning the Torah is the most important. It's essential. There's no way you go through a day you don't learn Torah. And from that, you can now extrapolate that importance, that love, and apply it on mitzvot, and chap one mitzvah, and kashan over mitzvah. Now, mitzvot are important, but they're not important because they're mitzvot. They're important because it's an extension of the importance of the limud Torah. And that's how you're shomer mitzvot. That's how you cherish the mitzvot, you do them properly. And every opportunity of doing a mitzvah is grasped and cherished. And this is how you live a life of Torah. This is how you live your life with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This is what David HaMelech taught Shlomo HaMelech. And this is the instruction of a father to a son, as difficult as it is, that was translated into an inspiration, a way of life, a desire, something that was extremely difficult to accomplish. But at the end, ended up being simple because of the love Shlomo felt from his father David. Here Shlomo Melech, the way the Gaon explains us, hand us over the biggest secret in chinuch of Torah to our children. If you want to be teaching your children Torah, this is it. Apply it. Live by this. Live just by this pasuk. And you'll be the David of Shlomo HaMelech. Who doesn't want to sound like Shlomo HaMelech? But the Shlomo HaMelech without the nisyonot of Shlomo HaMelech. Huh? That was specific to Shlomo. So, Be'ezrat Hashem. B'siata dishmaya, b'mazalayaya. Yes, this is the last year before Yom Kippur. הבא עלינו לטובה בשעה טובה מוצלחת.
Amen.
And Baruch Hashem, we're בפרק ד', we just finished pasuk ד'.
Beautiful, eh?
Baruch Hashem.